Welcome back to another season of Seattle Thunderbirds hockey. The T-Birds just wrapping up training camp, preseason about to get underway. T-Birds, of course, coming off of a terrific second half of the season last season that pushed them into the postseason, then a terrific, intense six-game playoff series decided in double overtime against Everett. So a lot to build off coming into this season for the Seattle Thunderbirds. Of course, the season opens on home ice for Seattle. The home opener coming up on the 20th of the month of September. The T-Birds will be hosting the Tri-City Americans at the Accesso Shore Center. It's a Saturday, so that is a 6:05 start time for that game. Tickets are on sale for that game. Again, that's coming up on the 20th of the month, right around the corner. If you don't have your tickets, certainly want to get those right now. It was a busy offseason for the Seattle Thunderbirds, in particular for three T-Birds who had their names called at the National Hockey League entry draft this past June. Two of those players selected win in the first round. Radim Murtka went 9th overall to the Buffalo Sabres. Braden Coots, the team captain, went 15th. He went to the Vancouver Canucks. And in round 6, T-Bird defenseman Ashton Cumby selected by the Chicago Blackhawks as the T-Birds continue to produce talent for the next level. And is that the topic that we're going to speak of today? One of those three is our guest. He, as we mentioned, was selected in the 6th round of the draft this past summer, going 162nd overall to the Chicago Blackhawks. That would be T-Birds defenseman Ashton Cumby, and we are excited to be able to bring Ashton onto the program here to talk about his experience and about going into his final season in the Western Hockey League. Ashton, first of all, congratulations on being selected by the Blackhawks. I know you've already attended development camp with them, but it had to be a terrific experience for you to be selected by Chicago in the NHL draft.
Yeah, it was for sure. I was super excited to be picked by them. I didn't have my hopes up too much during the draft, but I always had that feeling that that'd be really cool. But it was definitely a great experience to get drafted by them.
Now, I know, talking to some of the, T-Birds of the past who were selected like on day 2, but not selected in their first year, selected in their final year of eligibility. I think of Thomas Milic, who led the T-Birds in goal to that championship a couple of years ago. He was selected in his final year of eligibility. And another guy like Henrik Rybinski picked in, I think, the 7th round in his final year of draft eligibility. So, never give up, right? Never, give up that dream of being selected. And it's just the hard work pays off eventually, whether you're selected in the first year of eligibility or your final year of eligibility.
Yeah, you never know. You always just gotta make sure you put in the work. Doesn't matter if you're in your first or third year. You're still getting drafted, and that's the key thing. You just never know. You could have a great season and get it done, but sometimes it just takes other players a couple more years to really get their feet underneath them and just be able to get people to finally notice them, I feel like.
Now, were you paying attention to the draft? I mean, I remember talking to Henrik Rybinski, and when he was drafted, he was getting, I believe, his driver's test to get his license. He wasn't even paying attention to what was happening at the draft. Thomas Milic, he was out skating. He was practicing. Were you paying attention when your name came across, or was it a bit of a surprise to you?
I was watching off and on, but when my name got called, I wasn't watching. I was actually playing this phone game with my brother in the basement, so I kind of just got the call and that happened, and kind of just went from there.
Well, I imagine then you're as far as family and friends, your brother is probably the first one that you fill in that you've been drafted. But who else? Who were some of the people that when you found out, you wanted to talk to first and let them know this has happened?
Well, actually, when I got the call, I was I recognized the number, but I was kind of confused why they're calling me until I kind of clicked in for me. And I was like, oh, this happened. And then I was on the phone with them. I was about to walk up the stairs, and then hear a call from my dad from upstairs, telling me Ashton, get upstairs. I'm just screaming, you just got drafted. I know, I'm on the phone with him right now. So he found out probably quicker than I did, and then everyone else heard from my dad screaming that I got drafted.
Now, I know, going back to the end of the season when the player exit interviews were taking place, I saw you in the hallway and you mentioned that you had at least maybe 3 or 4 NHL teams who had actually, contacted you or your agent and said, hey, look, if you don't get drafted, we're thinking of inviting you to our camp. So there were options. You were going to probably go to an NHL camp either way. So that had to be, kind of a good feeling to know that you were wanted.
Yeah, it was for sure. Like just being able to like experience that because teams like ask me questions, try invite me to camp. It was definitely a really cool experience to have, and like good feeling that kind of shows up like your hard work's finally paying off, which is nice.
Now you went to Chicago's development camp shortly after the draft, but they kind of do it in a unique way. They don't do any on ice sessions. It was all off ice.
Yes, it was. It was really cool experience. Wasn't really expecting the no on ice, but it was really good to get out there, see everyone, and experience the facilities and stuff like that. It was still a really good experience.
Well, certainly that's going to change because you're heading out here in about a week or so to go to their camp. You'll get plenty of on ice experience, and there's going to be some Seattle Thunderbird flavor possibly to that camp. Some former T-Birds like Kevin Korchinski, Nolan Allen, Colton Dock have all come through here at some point. They're now in the Blackhawks system. The funny thing is you never played against those guys or played with those guys as a T-Bird. They were on the other side. They were all playing against you in the 2023 championship series. So do you think there's bragging rights if you run into those guys at camp?
We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I'm sure it'll probably be brought up. But I'm sure it'll be nice to meet them and see them. But I'm sure something on the lines of that will be brought up.
Well, as we said, there's a great Chicago-Seattle connection. I know that Cal Filson, our former director of player personnel, is now a scout for them. I'm sure he maybe had a little bit to do with them drafting you. They obviously, didn't want to wait to, invite you to camp. They wanted to get your right, so they drafted you, and now you're in their system. Let's just talk about your game. You're going into your final season in the Western Hockey League here, your 20-year-old season. You're coming off a terrific second half last year. You got your first, second, and third Western Hockey League goals. Let's take a look at your first goal, which was scored last January at home against Vancouver. I think it was set up quite well. If I get this queued up properly here, we're going to look at the end of it, actually. But let's go back to the beginning of this. This is the goal. I think it was Simon Loveson who fed you the puck from behind the net, and then you were able to kind of use a screen by one of the Vancouver players and pick your spot and get that one out of the way, that first goal. What do you remember about that particular first goal?
Don't remember too much. It was kind of like just all blurred because I was so excited to finally get that off my back and be able to get it in. But I just kind of remember just seeing an opening, kind of just sneaking down there, and then Simon Levy managed to hear me call for it, and then I kind of just try to shoot. I didn't even have a place I was thinking. I just try to get it on net.
Yeah, when I just play it back here again, is right there. That celebration, that is a celebration of relief as you score that first that goal. They kind of look up into the heavens. But then there's another part of the celebration as we continue to roll the video here as you go towards the bench. And this is one I've seen quite a few by guys who are in slumps or haven't scored a goal. It's the get the monkey off the back right there.
Yeah, exactly like that. I don't know. I thought it was reasonable to do that just because it took me quite a while to get that first one. It was just like a huge relief just to finally get that off my back.
You did score another goal in the regular season late in a win in Portland. The interesting thing in your 2 regular season goals last year, you got an assist in those games as well. So you actually had 2-point games in those, which, shows that there is an offensive upside to your game. And then you got your first Western Hockey League playoff goal in that series against Everett, Game 3. You scored off of a face-off, and fairly similar, good feed off the point, and then nice celebration there to get that one. Do you remember that goal, your first playoff goal?
Yeah, I remember that one pretty good. That one was kind of off of a broken play off the draw, and then I got the puck from Dunner and kind of just like the same thing. I just tried getting on that. Maybe I wasn't overly expecting to go in, but kind of just hoping to get something off a rebound or something. But lucky enough, it managed to sneak by the goalie.
You know, people are going to say it's nice to get a goal or two throughout the season from a guy like Ashton Cumby, but that's not his game. He's a big stay-at-home defenseman. But watching you in training camp, watching you in the scrimmages, I think you're poised to add a little more offense to what we've seen thus far from you in the Western Hockey League.
Yeah, like I don't want to change up my game too much. Like I know my game very well. Like I'm like you said, stay-at-home defenseman. I really like doing that. Like get on the PK, stuff like that. But I wouldn't mind adding some more stuff. Like it never hurts to add more stuff to your game. Like being able to hold on to the puck a bit longer, make the right play, be able to get pucks to the net, make a play. Just trying to add more stuff to my toolbox, and just hopefully that helps me and then helps the team as well.
Are you ready for your final season in the Western Hockey League? It's been quite a journey from being drafted by the then the Winnipeg Ice. Moving with that franchise to Wenatchee, then getting traded to Seattle, and all of a sudden here you are about to embark on your final season in the league.
Yeah, it definitely flew by. It went so quick. Like from the first year Winnipeg to now my final in Seattle. Like it's been a great experience for sure. Like I'm very excited to get the season going and kind of have my final season in the WHL. But I can't say enough about having this experience in Seattle as well. It's been awesome, amazing. Like they've helped me a lot too, and I'm just happy it's with them that I get to have my final season.
Well, thanks for joining us. Enjoy your first NHL training camp, and we'll see you back here for the regular season in the Western Hockey League. Thanks for joining us, Ashton, on our program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And just a reminder again, the season opener for the Thunderbirds is at home, and tickets are available. It's coming up on the 20th of September, 6:05 against the Tri-City Americans. Tickets are available. Check out the T-Birds website at seattlethunderbirds.com.